Hi everyone, I'm Shiyuan Xiao from Taiwan, but you can just call me Ben. This is easier to pronounce and remember. I'm an English teacher teaching at a vocational high school in Taichung City. Today, I would love to share with you some stories of GEG Taiwan, especially from the perspective of GEG Central Taiwan. Even though Taiwan sits right at the heart of East Asia, with Japan and Korea to our north and Southeast Asia to our south, we don't often get a chance to connect with everyone online like this. That's why I'm grateful to GEG Malaysia for giving me this precious opportunity to share our story from Taiwan. My presentation tonight will take about 1 hour and is divided into 4 parts. First, I will share 3 short stories about myself and Google for Education. Second, I will give you a quick introduction to GEG Taiwan, both the parts you might already know and the parts you never know. Third, I will talk about the Gemini AI workshops we're currently actively promoting in Taiwan. Finally, I will share how we might meet up in person at future international Google events. Nothing technical tonight. The presentation slides will be shared in the end. So now just grab a drink, a comfortable look at my slides, and listen to my stories. In this section, I'm going to tell you a bit about my school and talk about Red and White, the annual GEG Taiwan event. It's a gamified summer camp for teachers to play games with Google tools. Finally, share a bit about my own journey with self-directed learning. As the saying goes, charity begins at home. My journey as a trainer started years ago when I helped my school apply for the Google Reference School, the GRS. I work at Taichung Home Economics and Commercial High School, one of Taiwan's top vocational schools, with nearly 2,200 students and teachers. We all know that the bigger the school, the more difficult it is to make changes, because teachers are never easy to change. Unlike teachers in Japan and Korea, who are required to transfer to different schools every 4 years, most teachers in Taiwan can stay at the same school for 30 years until retirement if they want to. This system gives teachers great job security, but it can stop them from growing, making it even harder for teachers to keep up with new technology in education. I'm curious about the Malaysian system. Do you have a rule requiring school teachers to transfer to a different school every few years? Yeah, you can have a discussion in the chat room because I have a lot of Taiwanese friends here. And I was lucky enough to have the full support of my principal and a dedicated group of colleagues. Through teamwork, we supported one another through the challenges of COVID-19. Finally, as the pandemic came to an end in 2022, we successfully transitioned our school into a Google Reference School. We are the first vocational GRS in Taiwan. It takes only one person, just like me, to come up with an idea or a goal. It is easy. But it definitely takes a team to transform your school into a GIS. It's very difficult. Now let's move on a very interesting story of mine, Red and White. Once my school was settled, I started to venture out to make an impact. As a trainer or a teacher, you want to influence more people, right? Since 2022, every year, Red and White event is hosted by GEG Central Taiwan. It's a 2-day summer event in July or August, featuring Google-themed workshops and keynotes. In 2022, I came up with this crazy idea first. I organized a great team. My friends, my co-teachers, Shirley, Martina, we got sponsorship and support from Google, Acer, and Qualcomm. Despite the COVID-19, around 300 teachers fully participated in person over the 2 days. Since then, Red and White has become one of the most popular annual Google events in Taiwan. I'm so proud of myself being the organizer for this event every year, though it's really tiring. I'm a Google Certified trainer. As a trainer or a GEG leader, I have a duty to support the Google for Education team in creating greater change in education all over Taiwan, and never be satisfied with just improving my own school. The sponsorships we secured were massive. Participants walked away with lots of high-value swag that could buy the best Chromebooks at half price. And some participants even got the best Chromebooks for free through a lucky draw. Not surprisingly, we reached a point where some people were just showing up for the free swag rather than the actual learning. I realized that I needed to redesign and define the event again. For the first 3 years, from 2022 to 2024, we actually split our speakers into the red team and the white team to compete against each other. Let me repeat. We split our speakers into the red team and white team to compete against each other. And we even had the audience rate them, score them in the first year. That's crazy, I know. Even though we were all close friends, speakers, lecturers, we were all close friends. Once we walked up to the stage, nobody wanted to be a loser. Eventually, I started worrying that I might lose some friends, and the pressure on the speakers was a little bit too intense. So for the past 2 years, my team redesigned the red and white event. We turned the 300 people event into a much smaller, like a 30 to 40 people summer camp with mind-blowing games like escape room or treasure hunt. Instead of the speakers on the stage, we split the participants into red and white teams and further into 4 smaller groups. This completely changed the traditional format and imagination of an educational event, and people absolutely love it. The event was held at a forest resort. In our event feedback, we always scored 4.9 out of 5 every single year. Besides having a different game for each session, red and white includes card game elements. Teams can earn cards by playing well in the competition. They can use these cards to help themselves or to mess with other teams, to set up other teams. For example, the left card is digital detox. It is used to take away the other team's smartphones for 3 hours so they cannot use them. The middle card is Godmother Helps Me. Ruth steps in to help the team for 5 minutes. Ruth is the godmother of GEG Taiwan. The right card is We Are Family, led by guns, beat by guns. This card was a big deal last year. It got 2 teams exchange their scores. Because of this card, the losing team made a huge comeback to win the championship last year. We also have a hibernation card. It forces the team to go to sleep immediately for 10 minutes. No talking or movement is allowed during the 10 minutes. This card system is created by teacher Hao. Let's give a shout to Hao. He's here, I believe. He's an elementary school technology teacher, but to me, he's an artist. Participants really hate the losing phase and always want to win. Just picture a huge group of teachers getting so anxious, they almost lost their tempers while playing the Google game we designed. Personally, I really enjoyed watching the teachers fight with each other. Now let's take a closer look at what we did last summer. It's a video. We are going to host this year's Red and White in early July, July 2nd and the 3rd, 1 month from now. Participants will compete in different Google-themed challenges to win team and individual prizes. This year, the most valuable player, MVP, will win the title of Google Monster. Would you like to join us in Taiwan? Give me an emoji if you want to join. Yeah, this year will be more crazy, will be crazier than last year. Yeah, because we changed a lot. It will be crazier. Okay. At this point, you might feel that I'm not a typical teacher. Next, I want to talk about how I keep improving myself. The keyword is passion. I'm a trainer, innovator, coach, or whatever. How can I start to train other teachers without training myself first? No trainer, no champion is perfect, but every trainer should develop something they are especially good at, like a unique signature. Years ago, I noticed that the experiment with Google platform, which I found fascinating and full of educational potential. I spent hundreds of hours exploring over 1,600 experiments, selecting and organizing them into a Google Sheet. I also collected other hundreds of websites and resources with educational applications. Over time, this Google Sheet became my signature because very few teachers had the patience and passion to do this. Another example is my mentor, teacher Songxi. Songxi is here. He's a trainer, innovator, and GEG Central Taiwan co-leader with expertise in both music and technology. Using Chrome Music Lab's application, Shared Piano, he turned Chromebooks into pianos and created a playlist of 376 songs. In other words, if a school has 100 Chromebooks, it means they have 100 pianos. Last month, he introduced 1,115 Chromebooks to his school. Not surprisingly, his school is a Google reference school too. As a champion or a school teacher, you need to find your own signature, something you are really passionate about. If you cannot find it, create it. Discover your passion and turn it into your unique signature. You can click the image link later to access the experiment with Google's website, my Google Sheet, and Teacher Songxi's playlist. These are all public resources. Feel free to use it, but please credit the source. Thank you. Every trainer or champion is unique, but what types of trainers are you? From my perspective, the first type is travelers, whom I like to call superstars. These trainers are attractive on the stage and are often invited to speak in different cities or even other countries, much like Blackpink or BTS. The second type is organizers. In Taiwan, we often call them senior drivers, 老司机. It describes how reliable these event organizers are. Once you are on their bus or taxi, you are guaranteed to reach your destination and attend excellent workshops. The third type is GRS grassroots. Each Google reference school needs at least one trainer to act as a change agent and point of contact for the school. I like to call these trainers tanks because they need the courage to handle criticism from the colleagues and the mental strength to keep pushing forward against all odds. The fourth type is Google admins, so-called IT guys, who manage the back-end systems. How well Google's tools and devices are used depends a lot on their skills and experience. If you manage an account for a big city, you can directly help tens of thousands of teachers and students with just one click. The fifth type is supporters, whom I usually call cheerleaders. Although they are not players fighting on the field, their low-profile dedication and online feedback can have just as much impact as superstars. Most trainers have more than one type. Personally, in my case, I fit into all 5, but focus more on the first 3. What about you? Please tell me about your types in the chat room. Yeah. What about the 6th type? In Taiwan, this is 6. This exists. Not this. This is 6 in Taiwan. What about the 6th type? Don't let me define you. Please find your own roles and define yourself. After becoming a trainer, a leading teacher, or an innovator, the question you will probably hear most from co-teachers is, why should I learn technology? Why? Googler Sophie in Taiwan provided an excellent answer for you. Teaching is still good teaching with or without technology, but technology makes it easier. If the teacher cannot understand this mindset, just reply, why not? If the teacher still cannot understand this mindset, ignore him. It is not a good investment of your time and effort for that teacher. Go and find another one. As a trainer, after a few weeks or months, you might ask yourself a question. How might I keep going on? This could be because you have faced some frustration. Maybe there's a teacher you really dislike. Or perhaps you feel you are not good enough. In the first scenario, if you meet a teacher you strongly dislike, don't worry about it. Some teachers are born to be hated. So feel free to dislike them. Or if you think that is too negative, just ignore them. In some extreme cases, I even block certain people around, and it makes me feel so great. Yeah. As for the second scenario, whenever you feel you are not good enough or you are not professional enough, please keep this in mind, because this saying keeps helping me become a better person. Practice doesn't make perfect, only perfect practice makes perfect. For example, I spent about maybe 15 or 20 hours preparing for tonight's 1-hour presentation. How can I keep going on? You need friends. Just like Luffy needs Zoro, Sanji, Nami, and Chopper. Where are they? As I see it, GEG Taiwan is my going merry, my comfort zone. Now let's talk about GEG Taiwan. Some things you might already know, and a lot more that you never know. Okay. First, the public face of GEG Taiwan, the public face. How much do you know about our community? Let's check out the numbers. First, can you guess how many trainers we have in Taiwan? Please have a guess in the chat room so that I can see your answers. How many trainers we have in Taiwan? 40? 50? A little bit more. 50? 100? 80? Yeah. Okay. Surprisingly, we don't have many trainers in Taiwan. Yeah, maybe a little bit more than 60, I guess. As for active trainers, maybe only 40. But they are very professional and influential, because it is not easy to become a trainer in Taiwan. Trainer reviewers are very strict. Yeah. What about innovators? Have a guess. Now, how many innovators are there in Taiwan? Have a guess. 15, 20? Wow. 20? Okay. Only 9. There are only 9 certified innovators in Taiwan. Only 9. 2 from SEA 19, 2 from VIA 22, 1 from SEO 24, and the other 4 this year from JPN 26. Yeah, surprise, right? What about coaches? What about the coach? Google certified coach. The most difficult one. Yeah. 2, 15, 30, 30, really? Okay. We only have one coach. Getting a coach certification in Taiwan is not easy. First of all, teachers in Taiwan have tight teaching schedules. Even when they are not teaching, they are overwhelmed with schoolwork. So finding time for a proper coaching program is never easy. On top of that, the application requires so much paperwork. It's a real headache. Okay. Then what about GEGs and leaders? What about GEGs? How many GEG, Google Educator groups, are there in Taiwan? Have a guess. How many GEGs? 5. 1, 5, 5. Okay. We only have 2 GEGs. Surprisingly, we only have 2 GEGs. GEG Northern Taiwan and GEG Central Taiwan. Yeah. I have no idea what happened to Southern Taiwan. In Taiwan, we only have 2 GEGs. One is for Northern Taiwan, the other is Central Taiwan, and no Southern Taiwan. Okay, what about the leaders? What about leaders? We only have 5 leaders. Ruth, Xingyuan for GEG Northern Taiwan, Shirley, Songxi, and I for GEG Central Taiwan. We work together to run activities all across Taiwan. Okay. What about GRS, Google Relevant School? It's very difficult. Yeah. Okay. Have a guess. How many GRS are there in Taiwan? How many GRS? 1. 1, 2, 1, 1? Really? Really? Well, the feedback, the response, you underrate Taiwan. Come on. We have more than 18. We have more than 18 reference schools in Taiwan. This title helped the school get new students. Why? Taiwan has the lowest birth rate in the world. Taiwan has the lowest birth rate in the world. So any title that helps schools get students is very popular. That is why applying for GRS is so popular in Taiwan. Our community is growing slowly but steadily, and we are very proud of these achievements. And in Taiwan, for GEG Taiwan, if you are an active trainer, some trainers are just sleeping. If you are an active trainer, you might be invited to a trainer energizer at a Google office. This is a huge motivator, as it's usually very difficult to visit Google office. On top of that, if you are a very active trainer, Sophie will prepare a really nice Google branded gift for you at the end of the year. Every year, Google for Education in Taiwan also hosts the Leader Series, inviting education officials from different cities and counties, as well as outstanding educators. This is a photo of me from the Leader Series last year, where I shared the story of my innovative project. The project focused on guiding indigenous children to earn their own money so they could afford a graduation trip to Japan. Every year, in mid-November, the EdTech Taiwan Exposition is held in Taipei. I have been invited to speak there for 6 years in a row, but the most memorable times were the 2 years my students also took the stage. They shared how they use Chromebooks and Google Workspace at school to help them learn and explore the world. That's the beauty of being a teacher. Seeing your students shine on stage makes you even happier than they are. I'm so proud of them. From the trainer quarterly meetings, energizers, and leader series to the EdTech Expo, there are just a few of the events that GEG Taiwan members take part in. I'm so happy to be a part of this community. They bring me so much joy and have helped me grow so much. Now, let's move on to the behind the scenes. Okay. Taiwanese badminton players, Li Yang and Wang Qilin, won the championship in men's doubles at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics and the 2024 Paris Olympics. 2 back-to-back Olympic gold medals, which truly inspired the whole nation, the entire Taiwan. It was just like how Malaysia's legendary badminton player Li Zhongwei inspired so many people. Maybe we were just too excited at the time, and Sophie invited everyone to play badminton. Since not many people had a real badminton racket, we just broke whatever we could find at home. As a result, we ended up using computer keyboards, cookie tins, fly swatters, electric mosquito swatters, and even frying pans as rackets. We also played some interesting party games. Everyone took the games very seriously because Ruth was giving away a high-end Chromebook to the winner for free. In Taiwan, we also have drinking culture. I don't know about the GG Northern Taiwan, but what we do most in Central Taiwan is get together for lunch or dinner. We talk about absolutely everything, from at school to sharing our recent health issues. If someone isn't feeling well, we hope that a few drinks will cure them because alcohol kills the bacteria. We often joke around with each other, but always with mutual respect, because we are all as close a family. You can safely get drunk, knowing that no one will leave you behind. Personally, I rarely drink, so I'm usually the designated driver, driving them back to the train station or the high-speed rail. However, in some cases, I drink. Before I show a video, I have to name some person. Ruth guided me to become a trainer and innovator, and she's also the most respected godmother of GEG Taiwan. Teacher Bubble is the most highly respected teacher in Taichung City, in charge of promoting educational technology across the entire city, and has also guided me a lot. To me, they are elders I deeply respect. So it would feel not polite if I didn't have a few drinks with them. In this situation, I drink. As for the video later, I'll show it. I have actually forgotten when it was filmed. Ruth and Bubble usually finish their beer in one big drink, like a one shot. And they both started to monitor me, to watch me, monitor me, to make sure I finish my beer too. I must have been completely drunk and knocked out in the very first 2 rounds. I'm not good at drinking.
我很怕我的照片都是这一种的，你知道吗？
有怕没有啦，我们照片都会看到严肃机呀。何必怕？
因为我很好看，才在一起录影，一杯应该是还好。你车放着，我想偷偷放假，都不在一起。
Okay, Ruth is here. At a dinner table, their habit, Ruth and Bubble, their habit is to empty out all the beer in the fridge. All the beer in the fridge. And they will actually make it happen. It's like drinking beer is their innovator project. We feel that this kind of drinking isn't very healthy, so we come up with a special name, Tableside Professional Discussion. Yeah, Tableside Professional Discussion. Yeah, that is GG Central Taiwan. Thanks to this warm, supportive, and laid-back GG culture, our talented members of GG Central Taiwan often come up with highly creative projects, whether they are related to education or not. Now, I would like to share 2 of my favorite applications to give you an idea of what we do. What is 2 inspiring tools. Before that, in Taiwan, the entire society expects teachers to have very high moral standards and sacrifice themselves for their jobs. Because of this, when there is a problem at school, students or their parents often complain about or even sue the teachers. To protect themselves, many teachers now practice defensive teaching. This means they stop trying to discipline students who misbehave. For example, if students do not submit any homework, teachers cannot punish them. All we can do is to encourage them and remind them of doing homework, and that's all. As a teacher in Taiwan, you have all the responsibility, but no real power in school. That is why Devin made this laptop wallpaper. It became very popular because it reminds teachers to change their mindset and simply practice defensive teaching. This is the original traditional character Mandarin version, which is more humorous in our native language setting. Every country has its own educational issues. From my point of view, the fact that Taiwanese teachers have all the responsibility but zero power to regulate students is one of the biggest problems in Taiwan. Given this background, teacher Hao created a web tool to remind students to turn in their homework. If a student doesn't turn their homework, or if they turn it in but forget to click the submit button on Google Classroom, they need to practice submitting their work. They have to click the submit button over and over again, just like playing the whack-a-mole game. If it's your first time, then you only have to click it 50 times to pass. But if you fail again, you fail to handle your homework again, then you have to do it a lot more. From my experience, it really works because students told me they even dream about clicking that submit button at night. Yeah. Then the second one, at school, I think some of the pressure doesn't actually come from students or parents. It comes from co-workers. It's an inconvenient truth. Some people are just not nice people. They will steal credit for your hard work, even though they have zero contribution. Or they're the kind of toxic people, the toxic people who will speak ill of you behind your back, even when you have done nothing wrong. A few close friends of mine and I realized we all shared this same negative experience. So the four of us, Devin, Hao, Sophie, and me, took turns in this together. Okay, let me show you. First, name someone you dislike. Then choose how they annoyed you. For example, steal my credit, shift plan, and just irritating. Choose the ritual right, like karma mirror. Then choose the foundation. Can we hear the sound? Then choose one picture, like mural retribution. Okay, then grab your pen and draw a chart. And you can turn it to let your face out. Yeah, just one more minute. The best part of the story is that you can even download it. Yeah, that's fun. This is one of my favorite. Okay, let's move on. In fact, we never use this web page to actually curse anyone. Never. Working on it together was just a great way for us to relieve stress. The website is mostly based on the religion Taoism, which is the most popular religion in Taiwan. Guess what? Taiwan ranks #1 in the world for religious freedom. On just one street, you can see Taoist temples, Buddhist temples, Christian churches, and Muslim mosques right next to each other. People can practice their own religions at the same time, and everyone feels comfortable. If you are very religious, I hope this website doesn't offend you. People in Taiwan are very open-minded about different cultures. Yeah. Do you want to try more interesting tools from GEG Taiwan? Please join the GEG Taiwan Facebook fan page. At this time last year, GEG Taiwan's fan page had fewer than 20,000 followers. Thanks to the success of the Gemini AI workshops, the number has jumped to over 70,000 in less than 10 months. Please join us right now and feel the incredible energy of GEG Taiwan. Okay. Now I want to share the story behind the Gemini AI workshop, which has been the main focus and the biggest talking point for Google for Education in Taiwan over the past year. Before we dive in, let me briefly introduce Google offices in Taiwan. Did you know that Taiwan is Google's largest hardware research and development hub outside the US, and the core driver for global AI, not AI in Taiwan, but global AI. Taiwan is just a small island country with a population of 23 million people, but we have 4 Google offices and 1 data center. First of all, the Taipei 101 office is our global commercial phase, housing our business, marketing, and operation teams. As Taipei 101 was once the tallest building in the world, Google 101 office is considered the highest Google office on earth. Working there with clouds drifting past the windows feels like a real-world version of Google Cloud. However, if an earthquake strikes, for such a skyscraper, it might also be the closest you will ever get to heaven. Second, the Banqiao Tea Park. We actually have 2 big buildings in this area, TPKD and TPKE. It's the largest Google hardware base outside the USA, where global Pixel and Nest devices are designed and tested right here. If you've got a Pixel, maybe you got a Pixel from here. The third, the Shilin office, is Google's latest office in Taiwan and serves as the largest hardware research and development center for AI infrastructure outside the US. Then the Zhubei office sits right in Taiwan's semiconductor city, Hsinchu, focusing entirely on chip design and supply chain collaboration. Why here? This city, Hsinchu City, is the heart of Taiwan's tech industry. Do you know that 90% of the world's most advanced chips are produced by the company TSMC right here in this area? And the last, Zhanghua Data Center, as one of Asia's largest and most eco-friendly data centers, it delivers the massive cloud and AI computing power that runs Google services across the region. From chips to global AI infrastructure, Taiwan isn't just supporting Google ecosystem. Google Taiwan is actively shaping our global future. Now I'm going to use the Gemini AI work, but I will spend more time talking about how a team of teachers developed this course. This is because the people are more important than the work itself. The workshop was co-developed by 4 school teachers, Miao, Hao, Jianhong, and Ben. We call ourselves Team Gugu. We hope the name will be just as memorable as BTS or Blackpink. The goal of the workshop is to help teachers in Taiwan make the best use of Google AI like Gemini and Notebook M in their classrooms. We developed a 6-hour Gemini AI workshop based on the local needs in Taiwan. Remember, the local needs in Taiwan. It has little to do with the global Gemini AI certification you know about Google for Education. Our workshop has been highly welcomed by education bureaus and schools all around Taiwan. At the end of each workshop, there's a certification exam. Participants who pass the test can receive a profile frame for social media and a certificate authorized by Google for Education Taiwan. This workshop was co-created by the Google team and the Googler Sophie, giving participants a sense of achievement and a greater willingness to learn Google AI. This includes a 200-page slide deck, a complete set of self-made digital tools, a resource pack for participants, certificate and badge designs, 2 sets of certification exams, and even a trainer management backend system. If you are already amazed, there are 2 more things that will surprise you even more. First, all of this was done with 0 financial support. Even though a course like this has remarkable commercial value, we still decided to provide it completely for free to the Gemini trainers who are locally certified in Taiwan, so we can work together for Taiwan's education. Second, Team Google constantly updates the slides and tools and regularly share them with our locally certified Gemini trainers to ensure that all Gemini trainers have the latest knowledge. Our workshop isn't perfect, and we have to update it almost every month or 2. Over the past year, we all know how fast Google updates itself. So you can imagine just how hard our team has been working. But the hard work has been worth it. In about 10 months, starting with just the 4 of us and under the guidance of Googler Sophie, we've trained 95 local certified Gemini trainers. They are really professional. And over 2,200 Gemini educators in Taiwan. It's never easy because every single session was an in-person workshop, offline workshop, mostly held on the weekend, not the weekdays, but the weekend. In Taiwan, it's incredibly difficult to get lazy teachers to give up their weekend for a high-pressure 6-hour offline workshop that includes an exam in the end. We have been thinking about whether there might be the chance to share our workshop content with GEGs in other countries. The development of this workshop isn't thanks to me, nor is it thanks to Team Google. It's because we have nearly 70 Google certified trainers and 95 Gemini AI trainers supporting us. We have a much bigger team behind us. And because the Googlers, Sophie, Sue, and Kimmy always support us without hesitation. They trust us so much. Jianhong, one of the Googles, designed several sets of cute stickers. These stickers are so cute. And I would like to quote something he said. The value of a teacher never needs to be proven through a certificate. But through these certificates, we can reclaim our sense of self-worth and find that inner spark again. Jianhong is one of my best friends. I'm so happy that he passed a very competitive teacher recruitment exam. Starting this August, he will become my colleague at school. So my school, Taiwan Home Economics Commercial High School, we have Jianhong, we have Ben, we have Shirley, another very influential trainer in Taiwan. We have 3 very powerful trainers now. Yeah. Now, this part is what I want to share with you most tonight. It doesn't really have anything to do with education, but I believe it's the most important experience of all. Actually, I originally planned to introduce Team Google first, before talking about the AI workshop. But later I realized that the way Google works together is the real key behind developing the AI workshop, or maybe behind everything. First, I would like to introduce Sophie from Google. She's a program manager for Google for Education. You can feel what her personality is like just by looking at her. She's always smiling, humorous, approachable, and easy to talk to. Most importantly, she's highly professional. She handles everything easily, from planning to Google admin management. She is the biggest driving force behind Team Google. She looks like a groundhog. She looks like a groundhog. Then let's talk about an average computer teacher, technology teacher, but he spends a half of his time at a education center. His main job is managing educational devices for 1.2 million people and promoting digital education. He's also a true artist. Almost all the visual designs you see, whether for red and white event or the AI workshop, are his masterpieces. On top of that, he's really good at strategic thinking, and he's the brain of our team. He's like a very clever monkey. Next is Miao. She's a geography teacher who is currently pursuing a PhD in educational technology. She's a rare trainer in the field of geography, and she's knowledgeable about technology like VR, AR, and related AI. She always brings insightful feedback with her academic background. Though she looks kind and soft on the outside, she is never weak. She's just like a lioness, a female lion. Finally, there's Jianhong. He's a computer teacher, technology teacher, and his familiarity with Google hardware and software is top-notch. Plus, his years of administrative experience have taken our workshop to a whole new level. He always impresses people with his explosive energy. He's like a Chihuahua, the dog. He's like a Chihuahua on crack, a very high, a gut-hide Chihuahua on crack. So Team Google is made up of one human being here, a cute groundhog, a clever monkey, a geography female lion, and a Chihuahua on crack. Do you believe in fortune telling? We even consulted a fortune telling AI for our team fortune, and the results show that we will be like a special forces unit, each with our own expertise. The kind of team that could start a revolution. Yes, we're starting a revolution in Taiwan, the Gemini AI workshop. By the way, there are only 5 G bikes, Google bikes, we call them G bikes. There are only 5 G bikes in Taiwan. In a picture, the bike in the picture is not standing straight, right? It's tilted. And I think I might have broken it because I rode it for 30 seconds out of curiosity. Yeah, this is me. A lot of time I'm out of control. Yeah. And as you can tell, we all come from different backgrounds and have strong opinions of our own. So we often have very different point of view. Yeah. After working together for a year, I noticed something. This is what I want to share with everyone most tonight. First, listening and communication are the most important things. Even when we disagree with each other, we listen to each other patiently and point out each other's blind spots. We focus entirely on the facts, not the person. Because we never have to spend time dealing with emotional drama or hurt feelings. We can focus all of our energy on doing a great job. Second, find the right people. For many projects, people usually look at what skills are needed first, and then start searching for those specific people. But we were completely different. We found the right people first, and then trying to figure out what project we wanted to do. This is the most important part. In any project or group, If the members don't get along, there will always be endless problems. But as long as the team is communicative and is in harmony, you can easily solve any challenges together. Finding the right people, doing the right thing, and doing things right. That's the secret to our team success. For example, our communication is incredibly efficient. Whenever the four of us run a workshop together, those of us in the back will pull up this slide on our laptops to remind the speaker on stage that they have 10 minutes left. It's time to wrap it up for a break and allows the next speaker to get ready. However, we noticed that Hao doesn't have a very good sense of time and always ends up taking too much time. So when his time is up, we will show a slide that says, "Time's up," with a Mandarin subtitle below, "You are already dead." You're already dead. Even so, Hao kept speaking very slowly, which became a real problem for us, especially for Miao. So Jianhong came up with something. This is a web page that tracks time and money. The speaker's name is at the top. The overtime tracker is on the left, and the corresponding fines in Taiwan dollars are on the right. If a speaker goes overtime, he has to pay the price, which goes toward our team dinner. Although Hao has never actually paid a single dollar, he has been much better at paying actors on time. This is exactly how our team communicates. It's very efficient. Nothing personal. We can take a joke like this. Jianhong created another website to start uploading Tingu's adventure location photos. This is just a part. We traveled a lot. We have even flown out to Taiwan's outlying islands to run workshops. This is no easy task because the certification exams are locked to specific domain registered Chromebooks, which means that we have to carry 40 Chromebooks onto the plane with us. We often face unexpected problems with the participants and some tech issues of conference rooms, but we always manage to overcome them one by one. By the way, those two islands close to China are Kinmen and Matsu, and they are both official counties of Taiwan. Personally, I really love Kinmen and Matsu Island. Most foreigners only visit Taipei for a week, but in my mind, the Kinmen and Matsu Islands are more interesting than modern cities. I highly recommend visiting these two small islands. They have a very special culture and the most friendly people there. As you can see from the map, geographically speaking, the fact is that Taiwan is never a part of China, but maybe China is a part of Taiwan. Yeah, it's a sensitive, and today is June 4th. Okay, this is the photo from the workshop in Taidong city in eastern Taiwan. I know Sue in the center is very gorgeous, but please take a closer look at Sophie sitting all the way in the back. Sophie paid out of her own pocket to rent a small car. The thing is, there are 6 of us. There are 6 people, but the car only had 5 seats. Because Sophie is the smallest and the thinnest, we threw her into the trunk. That space is actually for the luggage. It was not nice to treat her like this, but it was so funny that we did it anyway. It's like we were kidnapping the kid. But Sophie is like a sister to me. So the next day, I took her place in the trunk. I remember thinking that if a police car drove by, I wanted to scream for help. But I was really worried that we might get arrested by the police. So in the end, I didn't scream for help. That prank, it was too big to handle. I'm sure you can feel the great chemistry and strong bond with our team. To this day, we are still continuously developing new courses and running all kinds of activities. Okay, finally, since we are in an international setting tonight, I would love to talk about GEG Taiwan's recent international exchanges. The first story is about Ruth ABC. When it comes to GEG Taiwan's international exchanges, there's one name everyone needs to know, Ruth. Absolutely everyone in GEG Taiwan knows her. She's a retired English teacher who trained me to become a trainer and innovator. In fact, about 7 or 8 out of 10 trainers in Taiwan are trained by her. She's a true legend. She's a walking legend. Ruth is here. I believe that Ruth is in the chat room. Give a big shout to Ruth. She started a regular free online course called Ruth ABC to help our trainers practice their English speaking skills every week, enabling them to connect and engage with the international community. Without her dedication, many of Taiwan's hidden gems would never have been discovered. Now, let's take a look back at GEG Taiwan's international exchanges over the recent years. Speaking of Innovator Academy, I come from VIA 22, but I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to coach SEO 24. It was my very first time visiting Korea, and I made so many wonderful friends there. In many ways, that Innovator Academy was a turning point that deeply changed my life. In November 2024, the first GRS summit was held in Taipei. At the time, Longpu Elementary School, one of the best GRS in Taipei, opened its doors for classroom observations and campus tours, which left a deep impression on all the international guests. In January 2025, the G creator from the Korean Teacher Association visited Taiwan and remains one of my best memories. Since then, Kang, MJ, Haru, Jaebang, and Gina have been meeting regularly with Ruth ABC for online exchanges. And that connection continues to this very day. In August 2025, I was lucky enough to be a part of the staff for the Champion Symposium. It was an international event at the Asia Pacific headquarters in Singapore with over 100 educators, over 100 outstanding educators, and it was truly energetic. The Champion Symposium is the best networking event, bringing together educators from 12 different countries. It's truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience you shouldn't miss. Every country had its own culture, and every day was filled with wow moments. Plus, the Singapore headquarters is absolutely massive and beautiful. But honestly, what impressed me most was the people. It was the very first time Team Taiwan traveled abroad together. People in the photo are really good friends of mine. As you might know from the international news, China has been constantly bullying Taiwan, threatening Taiwan, and threatening us with military invasion. The Taiwanese national flag cannot be displayed at many international events due to the pressure from China. So being able to proudly show our national flag in front of so many countries and state that we are from Taiwan was incredibly exciting in itself. Ruth ABC's years of hard work have truly paid off. Every single Taiwanese teacher was able to share their work at a champion playground. That's it for you. See, the person who leads the dance is Zhenhong, the Chihuahua. It's really energetic. It's really energetic. Okay. See, Chihuahua. On the final day, each country took turns going up on stage to be cheered on. We never practiced before. Not even once. But every one of us knew the moves. That's because Taiwan had won the World Premier 12 Baseball Championship that year. And this was our baseball cheering dance. At the time, pretty much everyone in Taiwan knew how to dance it. Okay. 3 months later, the GRS Summit was also held in Singapore. Another group of outstanding Taiwanese educators attended the event to share Taiwan GRS stories and exchange experiences with people from other countries. Personally, this is one of my favorite photos for this event. Jim and Theo from the Deploying Learning team often organize international Google events, and they have given me the opportunities to work with them a few times. When the event finished, all 3 of us had to rush to catch our flights. They were flying back to Melbourne, Australia, and I was heading to Korea to take care of some personal matters. After a long day of activities, we were all pretty sweaty and smelly. So before we rushed to the airport, we rented a hotel room for just 1 hour, took turns taking a quick shower, packing our luggage, and took this photo right before we left. I especially love this picture because it perfectly captures our chemistry, efficiency, and patience. This January, G Creator from Korean Teacher Association visited Taiwan once again. In less than 5 days, they visited Google office and 3 different schools. Gina, Hyunjin, and Bora are very nice people. I really envy them for having the opportunity to travel abroad for visits. And GEG Taiwan should definitely have this kind of opportunity as well. Last month, I was so lucky to coach the Innovator Academy in Tokyo. I was especially thrilled because 4 outstanding educators from Taiwan were selected as innovators, coming together to form Team Taiwan again. Google members Hao and Mel, my best partner of Red and White event, Martina, and Eva. Eva is very new to me, but now she is a part of us. In this picture, they are my teammates during the Innovator Academy. We have Liu Hei and Shou from Japan, Hao and Eva from Taiwan, and the cute girl Insan from Korea. Now every day we play Pikmin together. Except for the G Creator visit, each international event was funded and hosted by Google for Education, which truly shows their dedication, commitment, and focus on global education. The purpose of the Innovator Academy is to solve educational challenges around the world. The GRS Summit aims to highlight and honor the dedication of local schools, and the Champion Symposium is like a carnival for countries to exchange experiences. Because of these events, I want to give a special big thank you to the Googlers working behind the scenes. Swan, Jenny, Asrina, Kimberly, Alex, Yoshi, Kobe, Sarah, Natalia, to name just a few. Without their hard work, I wouldn't have had a chance to meet so many outstanding, marvelous educators from around the world. Finally, at the end of my presentation tonight, I would like to leave you with 2 questions to think about. What impressed you the most about us? What are your 2 takeaways? Yeah, I'm curious because not many people know about GEG Taiwan because we always play with our own community only. Yeah, okay. Maybe you can share your ideas with us later. People say, when God closes a door, he must open another window. From my perspective, Google doesn't open a window for me. It completely breaks down a wall. That's all my presentation tonight. I'm Ben from Taiwan. Thank you so much. And thank you for my friends in Taiwan because you helped me to answer a lot of questions or give a lot of feedback in the chat room. Yeah, only perfect.
Wow, wow.
Thank you so